Am I living my life in such a way that my highest values are being exemplified and that other people could watch me live my life and they could tell what my values are? So if someone viewed snippets, video snippets of your life, could they tell you what you hold most dear? Welcome to Rise Leaders Radio. I'm your host, Leanne Mallory. As a leadership coach, I work inside organizations and I focus on helping leaders achieve their whole person potential and meaningfully contribute to their organization's mission. With this podcast, I share leadership best practices, developmental approaches, and stories of exemplary leaders. Hello out there, and welcome to Rise Leaders Radio. This is Leanne Mallory. I'm the host of Rise Leaders Radio and also the founder of Rise Leaders, an executive coaching and leadership consulting firm. You can find out more about me and what I do at rise-leaders.com. And today, this episode is just me talking about virtues, specifically the virtues of a very special woman. It's also an invitation to consider what your lived life is saying about you. I got this idea from one of my favorite poems, Hokusai Says by Roger S. Keyes. After studying Hokusai's paintings for decades, Keyes actually wrote a poem about what he thought Hokusai's instructions for life might have been had he actually articulated them. So Keyes thought that by observing and studying Hokusai's art, he could extrapolate what Hokusai felt was important about living a meaningful life. So the question for you and for all of us then is our life an illustration of the ideals that we hold dear? Are we a living example of our personal philosophies for how to live meaningfully? I've been thinking about this a lot amidst a recent loss of a woman that was very dear to me. My mother-in-law, Betty Ann Harris Mallory, left a big hole in our lives when she passed recently, but she also left a big legacy. Now, I make a living in the leadership space, helping leaders and leadership teams become both more conscious and more conscientious around the impact that they're making. We want to get hard business results, and we want to leave organizations, families, and communities better than we found them just because we were there. I also work for myself and for other people to help us all live into what we really want to be. So we say that everyone is a leader, and that can sound trite, but I wholeheartedly believe it's true. And it was certainly the truth in the case of our matriarch, Betty Mallory. I knew Betty for over 30 years, and we never talked about virtues or values. And even though we didn't, just by watching how she lived and by being a super lucky recipient of her love and attention, here's what her actions, her lived life said to me. So I'm going to list about 5 things that I think that Betty lived her life by, even though she never articulated it. She just articulated it through her actions. So first, be kind and generous. Pay particular attention and notice the good in people. And on the flip side, don't participate in gossip. Say with your words, like actually say them, or sometimes she wrote notes about how she appreciated us and how we made her feel loved. I never heard her speak ill of anyone, even though there were times when it would be deserving. She just simply didn't engage in that kind of what I call reputation stealing. So by watching Betty live, you would also know that she cherished and prioritized the time that she had with her loved ones. And she would say, although she never said this is what she said through her actions, when you're with people, give them 100% of your attention. Listen generously and embody your interest through your questions. And see those who you love with endless potential. She was always ready to sit and drink coffee and hear about my life and what I cared about. And her questions were beautiful and pointed as if she had been coaching people her whole life. Betty would say, keep life simple. The material things, the stuff, just don't matter. Have what you need to present yourself with dignity and showing self-respect and to provide a warm and inviting home, and that's enough. You really don't need more than that. Fancy clothes and fancy houses did not impress her. I think she would also say, don't overextend yourself or clutter your time to the point that you can't be present with the ones you love. The way that she lived her life said, experience and enjoy nature. This also relates to keeping life simple, enjoying the simple things. She would notice the birds, the flowers, the wind, and the sun. Every day she would be blown away by the simple beauty of nature. So just take time and sit and enjoy it. One of her favorite things to do was to drive out to the beach with a couple of lawn chairs with a biscuit and a cup of coffee and just watch the waves and watch the birds and watch the people enjoying themselves. Finally, she would say, trust the good work that you did raising your family. They will continue to make mistakes and learn. They will live their lives different than you are living yours, and that's okay. But be there when they need advice or a shoulder to cry on, but don't insist that they take it. I'm one of the few and lucky people that had a mother-in-law that never meddled in my life. She was always so proud of what we were achieving through our children and through our relationships. And just as a few more takeaways, here's some other things that I think Betty would say. I think she'd say, be able to laugh at yourself. She'd say, keep your floors clean. She'd say, organize your things in any old way that it makes sense to you. A sharp thing is a sharp thing, and it goes with other sharp things in the same drawer. Knives, fingernail clippers, can openers, pizza cutters, all went in the same drawer together. They were all sharp. Finally, she would say, surround yourself with special memories and reminders of good times. So that's what I think that Betty would say about how to live a full and meaningful life. It causes me to ask myself the question, am I living my life in such a way that my highest values are being exemplified and that other people could watch me live my life and they could tell what my values are? So if someone viewed snippets, video snippets of your life, could they tell you what you hold most dear? I'm really happy to have had you with me today, and I hope this episode has left you reflective about how your life is speaking to you, how it's speaking about you to others. So take good care of yourselves and each other, and remember to elevate your part of the world. If you'd like to discuss executive coaching, leadership development, program design, and workshop facilitation, please visit www.rise-leaders.com/contact. Thank you so much. If you like what you heard today, subscribe to Rise Leaders Radio on your preferred podcast platform. Your ratings, reviews, and shares are also really appreciated. You can also visit rise-leaders.com for all the resources we talked about today and to work with me if you're committed to making your unique and positive impact. Thank you for listening, and remember, elevate your part of the world.